welcome back to LightBurn. Going to look a little bit more at some of the different features now, getting into a bit more of the advanced tools. So you've got a pencil tool that we didn't check out last time, and the pencil lets you draw lines. So you can, if you just click a point, click to the next point you want to go to, and down and click, it will just let you create straight lines. But if when you click, you press and hold the mouse, and you drag your mouse around, you can start to create curves. Really odd things can happen. You can start to create these kind of curves. Let's see if I can create more of a moon shape or like a circular part of one. Let's try it here. Okay, so we're trying to create more curves. So we've finished our line. We just press escape when we finish drawing it. And then we can play around with this tool down here, which is the edit nodes tool. So when we click this tool, sorry, we pick our line first. We click on the edit nodes, and you see we get all these little black dots. And these little black dots are then nodes which we can then manipulate. So I could move this node, I can move it along the line, I can reposition that like point of the line. I can delete individual nodes. Any that are on the curves, you see you've got these big lines going out. So what I can do with them then is I can start to play with them. So I can rotate them, and you can see my curve starts to begin to change. If I bring them closer to the node, you can see how the sharpness of that corner changes. So that's a really big curve, and as I bring it in, the curve starts to disappear. So I can play around with my curves and shapes, do all kinds of things. So if I bring them, let's see what happens if I bring them both back in. Almost makes them disappear and just go to a straight, sharp turn, regular turn. So I can play around with all those nodes, which is quite fun. And you can start to make some quite interesting line shapes or your own personal shapes. The node tool also becomes activated on things like the square or the circle tool in two things. So I've drawn a square. I'm just going to pick it with the arrow. And then if I come down here to radius, I can start to curve my corners now. If I come over and click on it, you can see there's my radius. It's quite big, 25 millimeter curve. So let's bring that down to like 9 millimeters for this corner. Let's change it again. I don't know, 12 millimeters for this corner. Let's just leave that one sharp. So click back on my arrow tool. You can see my square is activated. And now when I click on the nodes, it gives me some nodes I can play around with on the actual square as well. So I can turn my square now like no longer into a square. I can do all kinds of weird things to it as well. So there's one way that I can play around with the square. My arrow tool, delete it. Or if you union or subtract any of the shapes, so let's go with a couple of shapes here, play around with these. Let's weld and do that one. Pick back onto the arrow. Let's pick the two shapes and let's unite them together. Union. And then now if I click on the node tool, I can start to play around again with the nodes here. So I could manipulate this now, make it a little bit more interesting. Okay. And if you press and hold shift, it'll keep both those lines at that same, help you get the lines nice and straight. Keep them nice and straight. What other tool can we show you in this tutorial? So we'll now have a look at these two tools here. So let's draw a shape. Let's draw stick with squares because they're easy to see what's happening. So here's a square. And if I wanted multiple of those squares in a grid, I can now click on this tool here to create an array. And this box pops up, and I can start to say, right, I would like a number of columns on 4 columns of the same square. And actually, yeah, I'd quite like a few rows of them as well. So I'll put some rows in Oh, they're going upwards. Okay, that's right. We can show how to gather them. We can say how much spacing do we want in between them on the x-axis. So see they're getting closer together there, and on the y-axis, let's bring them closer together. We can start to mirror things. You can play around with all these settings. But you see it starts to make this grid for you. So I can see I've got total size, it's covering 277 millimeters by 211, and I've got 12 squares. Let's go and have a look at them. So if I can't zoom in, zoom out, I'm going to pick them. Pick my arrow tool first. Undo my rectangle I drew, pick my arrow tool, bring them back down. And then I've got this array of squares, so I could leave it like that, or if I just wanted multiple copies, I can then move them around and do things with them. If let's say I want to keep them in groups of 4, I can have 2 options. Don't have to union or unite them. I can go to tools at the top. I go to arrange and I can group them. So they'll move as one object, but it'll keep the spacing and everything in between them. So that's the array tool. Let's have a look now at let's have a look at this tool, the rotating tool, where it will create a circular array instead. So you pick what your degree starting point is and where your degree end point is. So I just want to rotate about a circle. You can pick the number of copies that you wish to have. So I'll pick less copies. You can start to see that I've got only 1 square. Now I've got 2. I've got 2 now, but because it's 180 degrees, look exactly the same. Now it's 3 of them, so rotate 120 degrees each time. That's the step. Let's go to 4 of them. That's boring. Okay. It's 5 of them. So they're rotating every 72 degrees. They're really all overlapping each other. So if I play with the center position here, start to see that they begin to separate. They make quite cool shapes on the way, so you can stop them wherever you want. But if I want to space them out a little bit more, so they're perfectly around the center, these guys are still perfectly around this center point, which is now moved to somewhere over here. And I've got 5 squares all perfectly rotated, each one of them at 72 degrees rotated each time. So that's another little tool to play with. Again, you can manipulate them all individually afterwards if you wish. So let's delete them now. That's those guys. And that's pretty much most of the basics. But one more little tool, which is quite cool. If you create a shape or you create some text, let's do it with a text. I like it with a text. So if I wrote my name like so, let's zoom in a bit on that. So wheeling with the mouse. And I think that looks pretty cool. I'm happy with that, let's say. I can then use this tool, and it's called Offset Shapes, and I click it, and it'll draw a bubble around my name. So I could then etch my name on, and then cut around the outside. So imagine it like a name badge or something. And then this offset distance here is how far away this line is from my original creation, so my text in this case. So if I reduce this down, you'll see it's getting closer, and now it's broken, so it's just around. There's one bubble around Mister and one around Rolly. So let's change it so it looks a bit more like that. And what if I change this direction? Disappears. Okay. What about if I change the corner style from rounded to bevel? So it goes a bit more square or corner. So it goes really edgy. And you can play around with some of these other settings as well. But that looks pretty cool. I'm quite happy with that. So then I could say, right, I can set that one to be black. So I'm going to cut around there. Then I'm going to etch my name. I'm going to change that to fill. So it's like etch it in, colour in. Let's have a look at the preview for that. See what the laser's going to do. So what it's going to look like if you drag it back on a timeline. So the laser's going to move from that crosshead here, and it's going to show you how it's going to work. So because it's doing mist step, it's like scanning it all in into black. Red's the path where the laser's going, and then it's going to cut around, so they're darkly etched in. Pretty cool. Okay. There's a few other little bits that you can use which are handy, zoom buttons, but when you're finished you can just go to File and you can just save as. Again, save as, and save it as the default option when it comes up. I think it's because I'm just going to say not working. But you can just save it as the default file ready for laser cutting. Okay, that should give you a little bit more help. Thanks for watching.